voted in favor of that, and would they be willing to vote on your proposal?
You know, I have not talked to the senators. I'm trying to be respectful of the process. I think it would be, at this point, perhaps unseemly for me to try to interject myself into the Republican Senate caucus, but I simply point out what is, in fact, factual information.
Do you have a plan B in place in the event that there is a court challenge to the slots and they are placed on hold for any period of time?
We believe that with legislative approval, there will be no serious court challenge to this. We base that in part upon what happened when Ohio chose to expand the lottery to the multi-state system. And there was an attempt to block that movement, and the decision was made in favor of allowing the state to do that, in significant part because it had legislative support. But that's why we're seeking, one of the reasons we're seeking legislative support for this.
But the same letter that you put out that raises some questions about moving forward from the racetracks also raises concerns about a court challenge. Are they going to be willing to put tens of millions of dollars of investments in place when there's still this court challenge out there?
We think they will, and they've, there have been all kinds of indications that they're willing to move forward with this proposal if it has legislative support.
Governor, how much beyond 7 days are you willing to go in terms of an interim budget? All through the summer or until Christmas or what?
Well, we need to stay here and work, Bill. These are important issues. The stability of our state is at stake. I think we should stay here and work through the weekend. I think working on this budget is more important than participating in a parade or eating hot dogs at an outdoor cookout. I'm going to be available consistently throughout these 7 days, it is unacceptable for us to contemplate any members of my staff or members of the legislature not taking this very, very seriously. And I would hope that we can resolve this before the 7-day period is up. If not, I don't know what we'll have, maybe a 5-day extension or a 3-day extension or another 7-day extension, but we're not going to leave town until this is resolved. It's too important. It's more important than anyone's personal plans, including my own. So we need to keep working.
You don't see there's a point where you might just say, well, they don't want to come along with this, we'll just have to shut state government down for a day or two to see what happens.
Well,
Washington
I think the fact that the continuing resolution calls for rather severe cuts, 30% cuts, is going to cause hardship. But I think it's the only responsible way to approach the continuing resolution. So, we'll see. I still have hope, realistic hope, I think, that we can reach an agreement. As I said to you a little earlier, I believe that we could reach an agreement today. We could reach an agreement today. We may not be able to get all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, but we could reach what would be, the resolution of this, I believe, this afternoon.
Are you open to the idea rather than mandating saying that it only goes to the racetracks?
Well, we need resources to help us with our budget issue. There are several reasons why I chose this route. I tried to spell those out earlier, but I'll go over them briefly again. These are places where gambling already occurs. They are discrete locations. This proposal will not result in the proliferation of gambling outside of these discrete 7 locations. They are adult-appropriate venues, and they will bring us the quickest income in terms of the licensing fees that we will receive rather quickly. And for these reasons, I think this is the best course of action.
Governor, I want to ask you about the 30% across the board cuts, correct, during this interim budget?
They will not be across the board because there are certain things that we must continue to fund, debt service, for example. There are other federal provisions that require us to maintain effort at certain levels. Payroll, I believe, is not likely to be affected. But we can provide you with a listing of those parts of the budget that will be subject to the 30% reduction.
Services such as, let's say, Meals on Wheels or something for the elderly, they will have to take cuts along with the libraries, along with, correct?
Those subsidy issues, I believe that's true, is it not?
Here. Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
What about programs that are currently being funded through TANF and were going to be transferred to the general revenue?
Some federal program, the federally financed programs will not be affected.
Programs currently funded through TANF that are moving to GRF.
What is that?
Those programs will be funded as they were under House Bill 119